The Devils took an 8-game winning streak into the start of their 4-game road trip. Win number 8 coming against the Colorado Avalanche on Sunday. But at the start of the road trip, it was Colorado, which had not won in its last 4, coming away with the 8-4 victory. And Chico Resch, the Devils fell behind early in this one. And they came close to recovering, but couldn't get over the threshold.
No, this was not a tight defensive affair. This was pretty wide open. We're just saying Avs also hit 4 goalposts. Plus they scored 8 goals. Devils had some good moments too, but I think the thing was, Matty, on a night where Devils penalty killing hadn't been even close to what it had been, it wasn't a good night to take as many penalties as they did.
No, as Colorado comes up with a big 4 power play goals. And that was something we talked about in the pregame show. You noticed how much time this morning Colorado, which has the juice to score often with the man advantage, but hadn't coming into this game 30th in the NHL and 0 for 2 against the Devils, 1 for 24 in their last 7 games. They put a lot of work into it on their brief morning skate, and it paid dividends. Yeah,
you know, there was that. There was the early penalty where Markstrom accidentally shot the puck over the glass. Brett Pesce wasn't playing. I mean, you could try to make excuses, and maybe you could. Maybe they're not just excuses. Maybe they're legit. But whatever it was, this is one you want to trash it as quickly as you can. This game and the tape or the video, because you're not going to learn much from it. Except, do you know how many mistakes we made? And they'll just have to regroup for San Jose.
Colorado 4 for 6 on the power play en route to the 8-4 victory. And we go back early in the game, as you mentioned, Chico. Jacob Markstrom just trying to play the puck off the glass, sends it into the crowd. That sets up a Colorado power play opportunity. And Martin Necas, a minute 24 in, makes this a 1-0 game, and the Devils now are climbing uphill.
Well, that was it, and it was a blast. It was, a good shot, but regardless, I think it kind of set the tempo, Matty. It really did.
And so the Devils in an early deficit, and then at 3:49, so less than 4 minutes into the game, the Devils see the deficit go to 2-0 when Zakhar Bardakov scores his first National Hockey League goal. It was a terrific shot, but why was he that wide open?
Well, there's a few guys on defense and overall asking it. I mean, he had a breakaway, Matty, from center ice in. And he's a fourth liner. You just can't allow that to happen. And he did make a great shot. But, again, I don't even want to try to break down the mistakes on that one because you just hope they don't do it again.
Exactly. That's the one thing they'll look at some tape and say,
exactly.
We need to have better coverage on that. So it was 2-0 after one, Colorado in front. But to be honest, the Devils outshot the Avalanche 16-12. So you got to give some credit to Scott Wedgwood.
Oh, you do? I'll say there was at least 10 to 12 pucks bouncing around in the crease or just a few feet outside that if a Devil could have gotten loose and whacked one home, it might have been different. But he was good. Those 2 leg pads of his were very effective down on the ice, and he had some good help from his defense. Devils just... if they could have chipped one in maybe in that sequence, Matt, it would have been different, but they didn't.
Early in the second, Ross Colton, the Jersey kid, rang one off the post. Pressure continued from Colorado. Victor Olofsson with the first of 3 on the night at 2:31, giving Colorado the 3-0 lead. Jacob Markstrom made some big saves on Gavin Brindley, one that comes to mind. Jack Hughes had a wraparound try, couldn't connect. Makar was stopped by Markstrom, so the Devils are trying to keep themselves in this game at 3-0. But big turning point occurred at 6:02. Stefan Nason called for a cross-check. 11 seconds later, Dougie Hamilton goes off for a trip. And so Colorado, which had a power play goal back in the first, has a 5-on-3 advantage, and not for a short period of time either. And this game became 4-0. Brendan Dillon, here's another one-timer, and that's off a stick and off the glass. McKinnon with the chance. Now McKinnon again, another one-timer, he scores. A power play goal is 4-0. Well, and what they were doing, and you described it perfectly when you were explaining to the audience how Colorado moves players from circle to circle, setting up or trying to set up the one-timer. And McKinnon's got a pretty heavy shot.
And it was almost like a practice. He missed the first one, right? It wasn't a good shot, but then within seconds, he gets a second chance, and he drilled that one, and nobody's going to stop that one. Even Chico Resch on his best night, it would have blew by him. It would have.
Well, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. You probably would have gotten a little bit of a piece.
Okay.
But, McKinnon scores his 8th goal of the season at 7-11, and it is 4-0 Colorado in front. At 8:39, Parker Kelly scores his 2nd goal of the season, and it was 5-0 Colorado. That goal coming a minute 28 after McKinnon's goal, and Kelly again had some open space. There were breakdowns for the Devils tonight.
Yeah, there was a pinch there, and that's what I say. The breakaways were like from center, blue line, all the way in, and he made a really nice move and scored a terrific goal.
So you're really starting to think, what's going to happen here? We're not even halfway through. It's 5-0. Devils, yeah, they had chances, and, again, Wedgwood was good enough tonight for sure. And you thought, all right, well, what are you playing for here? You're playing to win this game? Chances are it's not going to happen. Are you playing just to kind of get your game back in order in time for San Jose? And you thought, yeah, that's probably what the Devils were trying to do. Well, slowly they begin a comeback, and it began with Stefan Nason's first of the year. The Devils score. It's Stefan Nason retrieving a loose puck, and he puts it over the shoulder of Scott Wedgwood, who will not have his 3rd career shutout against the Devils. The Devils are making some noise. Yeah, you didn't know where it would lead. That puck was loose for Nason, and he made a really nice shot.
And you did make some noise on that replay. But, yeah, it just kind of all of a sudden it was laying there, and he made a gorgeous top shelf over-the-glove shot. And, for him, that'll have some satisfaction. The rest of the game, no. But the Devils thought, okay, that's just one. Where are we going from here?
Well, a minute 40 later, we were going to Dougie Hamilton's 4th of the year. Lays it off, shot off a stick. Breaking the stick is Luke Hughes. Now Hamilton with a shot. That's knocked down. It's loose. They score. Dougie Hamilton retrieved that loose puck, tapped it home. And here come the Devils starting a comeback. It's 5-2. And the puck actually bounded in the air. Dougie knocked it down to himself. And
he went back door. And if the puck didn't end up there, and he had an easy layup.
So the Devils make it 5-2. That goal coming at 11:48 of the second period. But, okay, it's still a 3-goal lead. We know our good friend Stan Fisher would tell you it's the worst lead to have in hockey, right?
It almost was, wasn't it?
Well, it almost was. Not quite, but the Devils made it a little more exciting when at 13:42 was Dawson Mercer joining the comeback parade. Here's Cale Makar with a chance. His shot off the stick of Meyer. Devils in control. Meyer to center ice with Taves back. Now Meyer pushes it ahead to Nemitz. Nemitz has it taken away by Meyer. Centers. Here's a pass in front. They score. Meyer takes it away from Nemitz. And then they go tic-tac-toe. Dawson Mercer makes this 5-3. Yeah, and it was Nemitz taking the puck across.
Yes.
And as it came free, he was trying to retrieve it. Timo said, I'll take over from here.
Yeah, but it was such a pretty goal. You just wonder, can the Devils even do more? Could they ever get another one?
Well, that was the question we were hoping to have answered, and we did when 30 seconds later, Jack Hughes made this very, very interesting. Well, here come the Devils skating out. Pratt gets it ahead. Jack Hughes across the line. Drops it off for Pratt. Moves it back to Jack. He scores! Jack Hughes taking the pass and burying it, and it's 5-4. Wow.
Well, and I got to tell you, Colorado was in disarray. They were leaving guys wide open. They didn't know what was going to happen. And, they were on their heels, and they needed a break to try to flip the momentum the other way.
Yeah, but and unfortunately, from a Devils standpoint, they got it. They got it.
They did.
When Timo Meyer, who helped set up that goal from by Dawson Mercer a little earlier, he took a tripping penalty. Sometimes you're just trying to get the puck, and that stick gets the skate.
Exactly.
I think it was Manson who went down. At any rate, it was a power play for Colorado. So it's late in the period. Colorado's reeling. The Devils have the momentum. And the kill is extra important. Sometimes you got to kill them. Unfortunately, this was the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Colorado with success on the power play in this game. They have 2 power play goals. This is their 5th. Here's a drive. They score. Nathan McKinnon, top of the far circle, and Colorado takes a 2-goal lead at 6-4. And that goal came at 15:24, just a minute 12 after the Devils made things very interesting. And that was the Prudential play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. While it didn't mean the Devils weren't going to come back or couldn't come back, it just took a lot of wind out of the sails.
Oh, that was the most important goal of the night. It was a turning point. And the comeback, though, helped some of the confidence that they'll need going into San Jose, that they can say, hey, even if we're down 5, we can score 4. That's what you kind of hang on to. Mm-hmm. But not the best feeling, because in the third they gave up even more. Yeah, 2 more to Victor Olofsson for his first career hat trick. A power play goal with Luke Glendening off for a slash early. That made it 7-4, and then late Olofsson makes it 8-4, and that was the final score, as the Devils now will try to start a new winning streak on Thursday when they take on San Jose. So not a terrific night for the New Jersey Devils. Let's hear what the captain had to say afterward.
A lot to sort of unpack from this game, particularly, in that second period. This score is blown wide open. You guys sort of make that push to come back. How do you sort of explain the way this game unfolded for your group?
I think, to be honest, the first period, besides 2 mistakes going down, we played pretty well. But the rest of it, I think, after we were down a couple of goals, we lost structure, and I think that's the worst thing that can happen. And gave up easy goals, and that's obviously today we showed exactly the recipe how not to play hockey. And I'm already looking forward for San Jose, because that game says a lot. We need a bounce back there.
And it sounds like, by what you're saying, is that you guys made this way harder on yourselves than you need to be, because it was what you guys were doing to yourselves.
Yeah, I think, obviously we knew they're a good team, but we gave them way too easy offense, and mostly came from just not being structured. If you're not structured, you can work twice as hard, but it's not going to work out. So structure has to be there, and tonight it was definitely not.
You guys have been so strong in PK this year against that backdrop. What were they doing well to get 4 power play goals?
Yeah, they have a 5-3 goal. That's obviously hard to defend. Obviously a couple of nice shots, but it can be better for sure. Our PK there, but we definitely took way too many penalties too. We gave them way too many opportunities.
6 times shorthanded were the New Jersey Devils tonight, and they gave up 4 goals. And 5-on-3, it's going to be hard to stop, especially against a Colorado team that's got the high-powered offense that they do. But when Nico is saying, first off, we show people how not to play hockey is what he's saying.
True.
Out of their structure, like what are some of the things you might have seen when he's talking about out of their structure, and they wound up? We saw the results.
Yeah.
There were some breakdowns and wide open opportunities.
That's a great question. The defensive pairs were scrambled up a little bit, right? The forwards, Pesci's out. I don't want to use that as an excuse, because so what? You still lost. But right from the beginning, I said, top of the show, try to protect Markey and give him a chance to get in the flow. But instead, there was the Devils almost trying too much, and I don't want to say that was the only reason, because they gave up 2 power play goals, and that's just whatever it is. But I think when you got down 2-0, or the Devils did, I think the anxiety to try to get one, and in the first period they should have, but it wasn't happening for them.
Brendan Dillon, always a stand-up guy. Win or lose, he makes himself available. Here's what he had to say following tonight's loss.
Quite a lot to unpack here from this game. How do you, one of the things Nico was just talking about is you guys did this to yourselves in a way that you put yourselves so far behind the 8 ball, despite how much you guys were able to claw back in. I mean, it was just too late.
You look at the game, you can't give up 4 PK goals. The goals against were, for the most part, grade A's from, our kind of self-inflicted wounds. That's kind of just crazy because we haven't really done that over the first 9 games or whatever. So, yeah, gotta be better.
I was going to say, I mean, that just felt so uncharacteristic from this group. Is it a matter of what their PP brings versus what you guys were doing? Like, how do you sort of unpack that?
We just played them 2 days ago. It wasn't like they were doing anything surprising. They got talented players. They made some good plays, some good shots, obviously. And whether that's us just having better sticks or finding the lane to block the shot to, help out Markey on those. But, just not uncharacteristic, unacceptable overall for us.
And then really just, Markey coming back in. I know how much, guys were excited to have him back just to sort of have things unravel this way.
Yeah, just crappy game all around. Sucks. We obviously love Markey, and he's such a big part of this team. So he's missed. He's been chomping at the bit to get back. He's been working hard to get back, and just a frustrating night all around for everyone.
Are there any challenges that come with playing a team like that twice over a 3-day stretch, or is there some kind of built-in familiarity with it where it's actually maybe a little bit helpful?
Yeah, it should feel, for the most part, kind of like in playoffs. You're playing the same team. I don't think there's really any personnel changes for the most part. It's like they changed their neutral zone or forecheck or anything like that. It was we knew what to expect. We knew to expect them to be harder to play against in this building. We just didn't have a good game tonight, which is frustrating when you look at it from a whole, because we want to follow up, these last however many games to just kind of keep this thing rolling. But credit to them for playing a good game and us just not answering it.
Thanks, Dylan.
A frustrating way for the Devils' winning streak to come to an end. Wouldn't be any different if they lost in overtime. A loss is a loss, so on and so forth. But it's not good to lose. That's not what you try to do. It's not good to lose the way the Devils did tonight. But you know what? There will be things they can talk about, and they should have a little burr under their saddle when it comes to playing San Jose. So might something come out of the ashes of this defeat? I would hope so.
Well, I absolutely think it better, Matty, because it's all this development, character, and recovering from losses or building on wins that they're trying to establish this year. So when it comes to the playoffs, they've seen it all. Well, this is one that they have seen, but they want to do a 180 and turn away from it and win in San Jose and whatever else happens after that. And that's why I know as media, we got to ask them what went wrong. They don't know. You just said it. Well, why did they break down? I don't really know. They haven't done it all year. Not like this, even the Colorado loss. So I don't know why, but they did flush it out. That's one thing I am big on. Flushing it out. Don't dwell. Don't think about it too much. Think about the good things that you did on that 8-game winning streak.
A season-high 42 shots allowed by the New Jersey Devils.
Oh.
And while the power play, or more accurately the penalty kill, it's not that you view it from Colorado's standpoint, the Colorado power play very effective, but the Devils' PK not so much. That was a theme of Nico Hischier and Brendan Dillon. I'm sure it was something that Sheldon Keefe talked about when he spoke with MSG's Rachel Herzog and Bryce Salvador and others.
Sheldon Keefe. Now, Sheldon, I got to imagine this isn't a brand of hockey that your team wants to be playing on any given night. How did your team maybe make this game more difficult than it needed to be?
Well, obviously right from the start, we shoot the puck over the glass 20 seconds in, so it just shows that we're not ready to go. But aside from that, just our reads defensively were so poor tonight. We went from a game the other day where we gave them basically nothing off of the rush, to today it was just rush after rush. So a lot of poor defending, a lot of poor reads of the rush coming through. And then obviously special teams, So our PK was due for a bad night. Their power play was due for a good night. And unfortunately, we met at the same time. But, certainly got what we deserved tonight.
Well, Sean, when you have a game like this, it can be very easy just to really look at the negatives. You guys have a good 5-minute stretch where you score some goals. You get yourself back into this game. So at least for one positive, it's nice to see the team did not quit.
Yeah, I like that the team had fight, but it's losing hockey. You're down in a hole like that. The other team's going to stop playing for a little bit, so we capitalized on that, which is great. But yeah, that's fake, So, the positive for me in the game is we get down 2-0 early. We give them a power play, they score. We make a mistake off the rush, which allows them to come in and get the second goal on the breakaway. But I actually thought our first period was quite good. 17 shots on goal. We were all over their nets. We broke out really well, spent basically no time in our own end. I actually thought it was one of our better first periods in a long time. Unfortunately, we just got in a hole, a couple of mistakes early. So the disappointing part was that we weren't able to come out in the second and kind of build on that. In fact, we just took a big step backwards. So, at the end of the day, for me, by the time I'm done talking to you guys here, I'll stop thinking about and talking about this game. We'll move on to San Jose, and I'm more interested in our response than I am anything that occurred here tonight.
Well, speaking of that, now we're basically 2 segments of 5 games here, and so you had some really difficult opponents here. So now is this good tape and a good indication for you guys to go back and see, hey, this is how we played against difficult teams, and then now we can build off that?
Well, yeah, listen, we've played good hockey. We put ourselves in a good spot here coming through 10 games. So I think, our team deserves, listen, no one's harder on this team than I am. And this team deserves, us to, push past this one pretty quickly. Learn from it. It's pretty obvious. They don't feel great about the game. But we'll push past it. Like I said, I'm really interested in our response. That's really my only focus is our response. So, like I said, I think our team has earned the right to push past this one and be interested to see how we respond and just push ahead.
You know that Marky is such a competitor. He was so looking forward to getting back in and working. It's like there's nothing you have to say to him after this, right? He's just such a veteran and solid guy that, how do you sort of...
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure he feels bad about the first penalty that goes over. He puts himself in a bad spot to have to face a power play right off the start, and that's a tough start. But our team was just dreadful in front of him today. So it's high-end scoring chances. It's the best offensive team in the NHL. They showed it today. When you're not organized defensively, they just make you look amateur, quite honestly. And yeah, Mark, we could have 2 goalies in the net tonight. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Thank you.
Sheldon Keefe on his post-game comments, and he's going to do what you suggested everybody do on the Devils. Just flush it.
See how you bounce back. Matty, they gave up, 8 goals, 4 posts. That's 12 scoring chances. And there were at least, if you're giving up 15-plus scoring chances, you're not having a good night, and that's all you got to say. It just wasn't a good night. When we talked about the winning, how there was a team win, this was a team loss, and so move on.
That's it. Get ready for San Jose, and that's next on the Devils' agenda, and we'll have that game for you here on the Devils Hockey Network on Thursday.